Great American cheese tasting.
You know, and it seems like it fits. You know, we've never got like it. No paper towel. This is the best I can do.
Well, that's
not nearly as well.
This is a 2-year-age provolone.
Literally throughout the house. I mean, because they were in the walls.
I'm gonna have to try that. Jeez, I'm sorry. That's so weird. I'm sorry, I mixed up 2 different things. I'm gonna have to. You know, it's.
And that provolone.
I know, because they love the animals. They get crazy if you check the animals away.
You know, like I've never had an aged provolone before. You know, I've only had like fresh provolone.
Cousin is an animal.
Yeah. This is queso tres leches. This is a free blend.
I love that.
So you try that with this. So you're still on #1 beer, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
the Pilsner. Yeah.
Are you trying to pair them up now?
Yeah, we're gonna do exactly what we're doing. We're gonna taste these cheeses and we're gonna find a pair. That's right. And
I'm not sure.
you just kind of get the hang of this thing after a little while. You gotta trust yourself. Okay, that's a provolone.
Provolone.
This is an
Oh, that's the one with the rope tank.
You'll see in some of these combinations where like you'll taste it, it's just like the cheese will taste like a glob in your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like the IPAs and stuff. It's like there's so many hops in there. It's like
And
just
the texture, the mouthfeel of the cheese has to complement the mouthfeel, because beer has mouthfeel too.
Absolutely.
Like there's some that's creamy.
Right. So like if you took something hoppy and put it with a creamy cheese, it would just taste like a glob of fat. The cheese would, and then like the hop, you know, it's like so. For a good example, like this rye IPA with like a pepper cheese is like one of the best combinations we've ever come up with, because the pepper cheese is hot and the hops in here put out the heat. So and it brings out the tangerine that much more.
Some of the flavored, I haven't tried that, but there are a couple of flavored cheeses that might work with that. There's something with horseradish, chives.
Yeah, we've done a horseradish with our IPA. So like hoppy cheese, you know, hops put out heat. So anything, I mean, we just did a thing at the Map Room on Tuesday, and we did like taquito peppers stuffed with goat cheese and with the red dry. So there was like kind of the sweet hot pepper that we roasted them, so like a sweet hot pepper, and then we stuffed them. And I mean, we did a habanero sauce with it, so it was like jacked up hot, and everyone's like, oh my god. I said, here, take the beer, and then put out the heat.
Pretty awesome.
Wow.
It was a tapas place up by Tomblis, or Tapas de Tomblis, or I think it's called.
Well, that suggests to me something like maybe a milk stout, you know, and a hoppy or a peppery cheese, you know, might be a good combination.
With the lactose,
With the lactose might, you know.
To me, milk stout is almost like
stouts I usually use with blue cheese or gorgonzola.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it's like you need, you know, like something like this.
They would
licorice,
complement.
You'll see, we'll be able to try all kinds of, you know, his stinkiest blue cheese. We'll be able to, because this thing's such a big roasty, licoricey monster. Chutney out of it. So like reduced it down and put some like, sweet cherries in there. And then we took some mascarpone cheese like on a flour bag and just like made little like ramekins and put the chutney on top.
That's gotta be
and we messed around a little bit more, and we took just crushed up graham crackers, put it on the bottom of the ramekin, put the mascarpone on top of that, and then made like little cheesecakes out of it.
Great idea.
So that'd be easy.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Just like in Belgium, they serve you, when you get coffee, they serve you a little piece of chocolate. Which could go. So, and there are a lot of cheeses that have that same kind of quality.
Exactly.
And you'll see when we're tasting, if we taste like this, the dark beer, it's going to be real licoricey. So like a lot of stouts have a lot of espresso flavor to it, coffee taste and stuff. So
there are coffee stouts, like Bell's makes one.
But the malt that's used in making stouts is black patent, and it almost tastes like coffee. It's burnt malt essentially. So it's like, you know, almost every stout has just a little bit of that coffee taste in it. It comes from that malt. So from the beer end of it, like blue cheeses match up real well with stouts across the board. So like if you got coffee, I would imagine coffee and like creamy, he's got like this creamy gorgonzola. That would go, I would probably, goat cheese. I would, probably tend towards the creamier cheeses. You know what I mean?
But you have to serve it with some kind of little cracker or those kind of
shortbreads or whatever.
Yeah. Those things that look like like cigars, those rolls.
What Colleen makes, right?
Confectionery chef at Custom House, So I knew her through Paul Kahn's.
He likes recording good people.
Oh, okay.
Interesting anecdotes.
Oh, cool. But we made candy out of it. So I met her through Mindy Siegel and Valerie Kahn, who's Paul Kahn's sister. And so anyway, Mindy did a dinner. She has like this anniversary dinner every year. It's a fundraiser and all this other stuff. So she put me with Alyssa, and we made Dogfish Head candy. So we had raisinets made with a golden raisin and with like a liquid center and with raison d'etre, and then we made they're like gummy bottles of beer with Fort, and then we did 120-minute lollipops. What the heck else we did? We did one more too, and I can't remember what it was. But,
did that raison d'etre, that come out well?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, that was the tastiest. Actually, the tastiest of all of them was like the gummy beer, made out of Fort. So it's like, it was like a regular, it was just like gelatin and.
You could be like Moto, man. You could be the next Moto.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah.
Oh, the way you're deconstructing things.
Yeah, and it was frustrating too, because like I never made candy before, so I'm like reading old candy books, and I'm like trying to.
Yeah.
Really
and the thermometer and all that.
So it was hard for her to make though. I mean, she put a lot of effort into it, and she did a lot of experimenting. And the problem is there's so much oil in the hops that it's hard to get that to crystallize in the sugar cane. So that's why we went to like more like liquid gelatin.
Did you have to add any sugar to get it to crystallize?
Oh, I'm sure she did. I wasn't with her when she was doing her end of the process, but I was messing around myself, and I was like trying to get,
And this was
my stuff came out like beer caramel more than anything else. It was all like real gooey. It tasted great, but it could, I couldn't get it to get crack hard. It's like, or what they call hard crack.
Right, the hard crack stage. Was this like one of a kind that you could never replicate, or?
She could probably, you probably could, you know what I mean? But she probably could.
She's a genius, isn't she?
Yeah, she's teaching now over at the Culinary Institute.
She's like Gail Gand, isn't she?
I mean, Gail Gand.
Really?
Mindy?
She's becoming huge.
And she's so cool. I mean, it's like she's one of the most reasonable people I've ever met.
Man, I wish you had made a video of this or something.
Yeah, I know.
That sort of stuff.
That's why I got to start thinking about
I just love that stuff.
I've been in cheese caves, all kinds of crazy.
We've gone to
oh my God.
Up in Madison.
Yeah, I was in a cheese cave in France.
Yeah. This guy made his own cheese cave out of flagstones he found on his property.
Yeah.
So Blue Mountain Dairy, it's like in Blue Mountains, Wisconsin, which is like just west of Madison.
Cheese cave.
I think Giles is selling some of his stuff now.
And he just let the natural bacteria in the cave do the cultivating?
He works with University of Wisconsin and does like test stuff with that.
Oh, their agar stuff?
Yeah. So he's not that big of a guy. He's maybe this tall. And I walked in and he goes, "Can you lift 150 pounds?" I'm like,
it's very moldy.
Yeah. So he had me picking up this big 150-pound wheel of Emmentaler that he couldn't have anyone to help him move it because it was so big.
Well, did they
chopped it all up?
It was the air, the bacteria in the air. I mean, that's the way they do it.
When you walked into the blue cheese cave, it's like my sinuses just dropped. There's so much ammonia or penicillin or whatever it's in the air. When you walked into the cave, it's like.
Was that indigenous to the geography? I mean,
I don't know.
Or did they have to like inoculate the?
No, he did it in the. What he built was like it's kind of like chicken wire, put flagstones on it, and then finished it with like concrete to hold all the flagstones together.
Right.
So it's underground in the side of a hill. Everything's all temperature controlled and stuff. He's a cheese cheese master from like Switzerland, actually, so it's like, his father was a cheesemaker then. But his whole dairy is 100% sustainable. So he's got like a wind turbine that's running all the electric. Everything that he has, he's found on his property. And he's really a neat guy, So I went in there one day with a bunch of Dogfish Head and ate a bunch of cheese, and I was in Madison, I had afternoon to kill, so I'm like, I kept reading articles about his place, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Madison, can I come by? I'll bring beer. I'll swap with them.
What a great way to get your foot in the door there.
No,
or
so
just to build a network.
We had 15 cheeses, we had 15 beers, and we tried just like this. You know what I mean? This is how you learn about food, is by trying it and mixing it up.
But also, it's just so good for business. I mean, it's just a harmonious way of.
Yeah, and everyone's artisans. You know what I mean? So, you know, a guy that makes cheese is no different than a chef. That's no different than a brewer. I mean, it's all people are passionate and curious.
Amen. Wow.
Like the cheese guy, the Bluemont guy, his name's Will Lehner. He gave me a cheese that was called Earth Schmear, and he propagated yeast out of dirt.